Well, I got a new bottle to try with you guys today. Today I've got Smokeye Hill, their Barrel Proof Bourbon. Let's see what the hype's all about with this bottle. I'm Tim, the Suburban Dad, trying to help dads find some great bourbon. There's been a lot of hype around Smokeye Hill Barrel Proof. It even won 2024 Ascot Awards Bourbon of the Year. So that's Fred Minnick's whiskey competition. This won first place. There's a cool backstory on this brand. So Smokeye Hill refers to a site out in Arizona that was a really popular spot for bootleggers and moonshiners during the Prohibition time. So they'd go out there to make their whiskey and sell it, and apparently they attracted a pretty large clientele, even as glamorous as the Hollywood crowd. Now, it's said that the moonshiners, to warn them when a lawman would be approaching, they would put bells around mules' necks. And so they'd have, I guess, the mules nearby, and if somebody came along and disturbed them, moved them around, they'd start jingling and the moonshiners could get out of there. So to showcase that, they still have a little mule hauling a barrel with a bell around his neck on the label. It's fun. This bottle in particular is 134.2 proof. Each batch varies in proof. This, I don't know if you know this or not, this is actually sourced whiskey. Sourced from Lawrenceburg, Indiana. In other words, Ross and Squibb. In other words, formerly MGP. So this is MGP juice. The company is Hazelwood Spirits, LLC. This is where it gets a little confusing because on their website, it says Hazelwood Spirits, LLC, Los Angeles, California. It's sourced from Indiana, but it's barreled, aged, and bottled in Colorado Springs, Colorado. So a lot going on there. It's a sourced whiskey from a non-distiller producer, whatever. Let's see how good this bourbon actually is. This one retails for around 80, 90 bucks, something like that, 85, 90 bucks. You can actually get it on fruitbat.com. And if you use the code TheSuburbanDad at checkout, you will get free shipping on your order. Oh gosh. That is a heavy cap. Holy crap, I was not expecting that. Oh, jeez, that could have been bad. So this is a very unique bottle. Just a short, stout bottle, tiny little neck. Let's have a pour of it. So the mash bill, they claim it's a 4-grain mash bill, but really it's 3-grain. Blue corn, yellow corn, rye, and malted barley. So 2 varieties of corn, but it's still corn, guys. It's still corn. It's aged for at least 5 years in new American oak barrels, 30-gallon and 53-gallon. So they're blending it, and they've got number 2, 3, 4, and 5 char on these barrels. Enough chitter chatter. Let's get at her. Really good color so far, dark and rich. I don't expect Colorado to have a really intense aging process. Especially Colorado Springs, I think of it being just cooler year-round. But I know it's got a pretty rich color for being 5+ years. Now the smaller barrel can add to that as well, rapid aging. On the nose, I'm trying to let it open up a little bit, and it's 134 proof, so it's gotta breathe a little bit. Definitely rich flavor, no alcohol punch on the nose at all. Very nice there. You definitely get some of that corn forward note, but it's caramely, a little bit smoky, leathery. Yeah, kind of an earthy note in there. Sweet, but in like a smoked caramel type way, not candy sweet otherwise. Not fruity. Maybe just a touch of sawdust. There might be a little bit of dried fruit in there, but just subtle and more definitely dried fruit, nothing fresh. All right, so I'm gonna try it neat first, and then maybe I'll try it with a dash of water. Cheers. Okay, so far, the hype seems to be real. It drinks pretty easy for 134 proof. A lot of burst of flavor right away. Caramely sweet. A little bit of corn, caramely corn. Let's try again. Yeah, I mean, it's nothing too exotic in there. Some caramel and corn and just the faintest, yeah, no, I wouldn't even say it, not really much spice. It's more leathery, earthy. Maybe just a touch of tobacco in there. Decent finish. The finish isn't crazy long, but it's decent. I have a feeling this is one that's going to open up well with a couple drops of water in there. So let's find out. Yeah, more of a bright butterscotchy caramel note with the water on the nose anyways. Still some of that sawdust. Let's try it. Yeah, that's pretty nice. That opens up well. Butterscotchy caramel once you add a few drops of water. Still some of that smoky leather on the back end of it. It's got a very nice, lingering, gentle finish to it. No alcohol punch for 134 proof. This is dangerously easy to drink. It's pretty darn good whiskey, guys. I have to say. It's absolutely worth the price to me. And like I said, you can order it online. I don't know how many states actually carry it these days, but you can order it online from Proof Bat. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I can see why it's gained some popularity. I don't know if it warrants the ultra hype, like, oh my gosh, it could beat George T. Stagg. I've not gotten to try George T. Stagg, but to me, I would guess that George T. Stagg would have even more refinement than this one. Like, it's pretty darn good for the age, but man, if you let it mellow a little bit longer, I could see even just a little bit more softness around the edges. It does have just a bit of youthfulness to it. Like I said, some of those sawdusty notes in there, but overall, really good whiskey. Not disappointed at all. Might add even just a little bit more water. Yeah, that's the one thing that you can't cheat your way out of is older whiskeys have more of a mellow tone to them. And again, this is high proof, so it should have some kick to it. But it's really good. I'm being very nitpicky with this one. Okay, it's very good bourbon. I'm just observing how at this age, this is probably as good as it could get at this age. If it was 8 to 10 or 12 years old, I'm sure it would mellow out very nicely. It might get overly done at that point, unfortunately, but I think it could mellow out even better. So as I add more water, it continues to open it up and it gets a little brighter each time, a little bit more honey, sweet butterscotch type notes. Still really not fruity. It's just got that syrupy, caramely sweetness to it. A little bit more of a hint of spice with more water and less of the leathery, tobacco-y type notes. Overall, it's good. I recommend it, guys. Smokeye Hill, give it a try. Watch out when you're opening that cap. It is heavy. It's made of metal. Was not expecting that at all. So beware of that. Have you gotten to try Smokeye Hill, and what are your thoughts on it? What are your opinions on sourced whiskey? Thanks for watching today, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video, so that way I can bring you even more great content moving forward. Cheers.